Hey, my friend, welcome back. We are at our final Sidereal Astrology forecast for 2024. We've got lots to talk about for the new year, but in this video, I'm going to be sharing all about our new moon in Sagittarius, our forecast for New Year's, and some final transits that are ending this week. Our January overview will be out later this week to hear all about how we are starting 2025 astrologically. And as always, be sure to subscribe to the channel, which, my friend, is going to have a new name coming this week. So it is in alignment with our podcast. If you did not know, we do have a podcast called The Cosmic Mystic Podcast. And you'll be able to find it here on the YouTube channel, as well as all of your favorite podcasting platforms. We're going to finally unite the two. And so it will be one channel with the Cosmic Mystic as the YouTube channel and the Cosmic Mystic podcast as well. So stay tuned for that and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, to the podcast, so that you know when a new episode is live, as we are currently doing 2 episodes a week. And I've got a whole bunch of podcasts lined up for the beginning of this year. Some great interviews and some thoughts on goals. We're going to talk a little bit about that towards the end of this video, but let's dive into our state of the planets as we end out this year. If you did not know, if you are new here, hello, my friend, Danny C. Muniz, intuitive astrologer and spiritual counselor. And I am so blessed and honored to be here with you today. So let's take a look and see where our planets are right now. As we kick off, you can see our sun and moon right here in Sagittarius. That's right. Our sun and moon are kicking off this week in that new moon energy. And so we've got our new moon here in Sagittarius, which we'll talk about in just a bit. We've got Mercury over here in Scorpio. If we come down further, we still, I don't know what language that is. We still have Mars over here in Cancer. We've got Jupiter in Taurus, Uranus. These 3 are all retrograde. You can tell by that red color there. So Mars still retrograde in Cancer, Jupiter still retrograde in Taurus, and Uranus still retrograde in Aries. Those will be shifting out very soon. We've also got Chiron over here in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Aquarius. And we've also got Venus, who just moved into Aquarius last week, which we talked about. And we've got Pluto over here in Capricorn. Yes, my friend, it is not the age of Aquarius. We are still in Capricorn. All right, let's dive into our sun this week. First off, we're going to talk about this sextile over here, which came in over the weekend. And we talked about it a little bit last week, but this is that first part of our week here in this new year. And so I do want to talk about this because the sun being sextile Saturn is such a great energy of patience, of discipline, determination, and really helping us move forward from those setbacks that we may have had. And so what I love about this energy right here is that it's giving us that new kind of fresh feeling around moving forward with things where we can kind of put a little bit of a different spin on things that we may have been stuck with in this past year, and really giving us that really forward movement energy. So I really love this here. We'll have this all the way through the 10th, January 10th of our new year. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this new moon, because it couldn't have come at a better place than right here. Because this new moon in Sagittarius is happening right here on the beginning, right? The end of 2024, beginning of 2025. Now, Sagittarius, as I've said in past videos, and you can hear the podcast episode I did all about Sagittarius season and really how to use that energy, this energy right now. And it really is about, it's the CEO, as I like to call it, of the zodiac. It really is able to kind of see things at from a bigger perspective. It's one of the visionaries. Aquarius is actually the visionary, but Sagittarius pulls us up. It pulls us up from being in that deep darkness of Scorpio, where we're really diving into things and getting into the details of things, and really floats us up to really take a different perspective on things. So this is one of the reasons why I love Sagittarius, because it really brings us out and can really focus our energy in. So this is the time where we are reflecting, beginning of the year. Isn't that, I've been seeing that all over social media over the past few weeks, of everybody talking about reflection and goal setting. And one of the things that really irks me is that this amount of time is spent on reflection and this amount of time is spent on goal setting. And I really believe it should be a lot more. We should spend a lot more time on really looking at the past year from a bunch of different lenses, so that we really understand what happened in 2024 before we start setting those goals or those intentions, and what I'm going to say, habits that are really going to fuel us for what it is that we want to accomplish in the new year. So back to this new moon. I was going to say back to the lesson at hand. All right. This new moon in Sagittarius takes place on December 30th here on Monday at 4:27 p.m. And it really brings this energy of expansion, of wisdom, responsible, and more so like responsibility in the way that you're looking to grow, the way that you're looking to achieve the thing. Saturn is such a beautiful energy of like bringing that practicality into things, where Sagittarius is so optimistic and really wants to soar really high. You know, Capricorn's really bringing in that structure and really bringing in that groundedness to this, which I absolutely love as we start this new year. And so you can think of this new moon as the intention of this new year, the way you want to enter this new year, which if you haven't started reflecting, it can kind of get a little bit wonky here. So I am going to say it is absolutely okay to still set a new moon intention under this new moon. I would absolutely still do it. One of the things I would say is it's more of a energy or a vibe that you want to really set for this new moon. I don't really see, or like maybe even something around the vision of what it is that you're looking for to come through in this lunar cycle. Not so much of a strict, like this is what it is and this is what it has to be. This energy, it's not really for that, because we haven't really spent time yet reflecting. Now, if you've spent some good amount of time reflecting, then by all means, my friend, go ahead and use this new moon to really set that intention for the new year. If you haven't done that yet, like me, I have not really done a deep reflection yet. I've done a little bit here and there, but this coming week, I'm really going to be reflecting more on this year so that I have a really clear understanding of what happened. And as I said before, I take the entire Sagittarius season to do my reflection. So we've got a couple of things that I want to say here about this new moon, because it is encouraging us to dream really big. Yet it has this really good anchor in reality, which is that Saturn energy. So this is the time to really set or step into some of those bolder intentions that you have for 2025 that are really going to push you beyond the limitations, beyond the boundaries of here, and so that you're really setting a solid foundation with the discipline and structure. That is one of the things that why I created the Reset Retreat that I do every single year. It's an annual retreat. It's been virtual the past 4 years. It'll be virtual again this year, so you can come join us once more virtually. But really, this is the opportunity to really look at a whole slew of things for 2024. It's one thing to, like, if I asked you right now, tell me about 2024, there's a couple of things you would probably remember, some of the highlights and some of the lows. And yet there is still so much in 2024 that we forgot, right? Even if I ask you to tell me, like, my family was our family, I should say, my love's family was here in 2024, this last week here. And one of the things that I can tell you right off the bat was there were some moments as I think back right now. I haven't really spent a lot of time reflecting because they left this morning, but one of the things that I can tell you was like there were some really great moments that I can remember, but I don't remember everything that happened this past week. I remember a couple of different things. And because of that, I am not really getting the full scope of what happened. I can get frustrated at maybe an argument or a fight that happened while they were here, or I can focus on a really beautiful moment that we had together. There's a couple of different things that I can focus on, but when I really sit down and look at the week as a whole, I can really pull out what this week really showed me, what I really felt during the week, and how it has fueled me in different ways. Plus, how it's given me some inspiration for other things, right? So there's so much in there, and I'm just talking about this past week. What about the whole entire year? This is why reflection is one of the most important things for me, because you understand so much more about yourself. And if you are into growing yourself, if you are into self-mastery, if you are into becoming the best version of self, which I know you are because you're watching this channel, then I 100% want to say, my friend, reflection. Take some time, give yourself some time to do some deep reflection so that you can really come out with a clear picture of what 2024 brought for you. If you need some assistance with that, you can download our reflection, our annual reflection guidebook. It'll help you go through 2024 in detail so you really understand what it was. We've got tons of questions in there for you to ask yourself, to write on, to draw in, whatever it might be for you. So you can go to thepeaceteacher.com forward slash annual reset, and you will get the guidebook or workbook to go through. And also, I'm going to tell you a little about this at the end, but we do have that virtual retreat I was talking about that I'm going to invite you to come join us so that you can actually do the reflection. Because if you're like me, you probably download these things, they're in your phone. I saw one of mine this morning that I totally forgot I downloaded and I haven't done anything with. So I've made sure that we have some time to reflect. So let's keep going on, because this, I think I've said everything I need to say. Okay, let's go on with, let's talk about where our moon is going to be this week. So we did talk about that new moon coming in on Monday. And so that Sagittarius energy will be Monday and Tuesday. And then moving into Wednesday, the moon will be moving into Capricorn. So on our first day of 2025, we do begin this year in Capricorn, which is such a beautiful, grounded energy. It will be in that opposition over here to Mars, which is still, and Mars is still retrograde and it is still in Cancer. So I wouldn't say there is still some drive here. There is still some emotion here. We are still internally reflecting. We are in winter. So this is actually a really nice aspect here that I like kicking off the new year in Capricorn with that really grounded energy. And right here, coming off of that conjunction with Pluto as we end the day here. So this is a little bit later in the day, but this will be coming through Pluto through this day, which to me, this is such a good energy of transformation and releasing the old. Let me just say, releasing the old. All right. And then on Thursday is when our moon will move out of Capricorn. So on Friday, we'll be in Aquarius. So Friday through Saturday, our moon will be moving through Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. So as our air signs, there's a lot of brainstorming, researching. This would be a great time to do that reflection, to grab that guidebook and really, or workbook, and really go through it to really help you really look at the year. Also a good time to just sit down and brainstorm some things maybe that you want to do this year, want to do this month, want to look at, and just maybe gather ideas and thoughts. It's not the time at all to really have some concrete things. That's not the energy of Aquarius. And then moving into Sunday, the moon will be moving into Pisces. So we're going to kick off our first full week of 2025 in Pisces. Pisces is our water sign. It is the ending energy. It is the most spiritual energy. This would be a great time to really start those spiritual practices to really come back to self, to connect with higher source, and to just really understand, just kind of bringing all of those things to an end for yourself as we move into this new year. All right, let's go ahead and continue on, because we do have a couple of things that are coming into play this week. So let's kick off with Mercury. Mercury is right here in Scorpio. And Mercury has been with this opposition here to Jupiter. We've also saw this Chiron trine kick in last week, but the new one that's coming in here, and Saturn is going to fall off, this square over here to Saturn. And as soon as it falls off, we're going to see the square over here to Neptune. So let me tell you a little bit about this square over here to Neptune, because Mercury and Neptune can have a really interesting vibe together. Mercury is our thinking, right? It's our processing of information. It's our communication. And whenever it's mixed with Neptune, there can be some distorting of our thinking, some confusion. And so it just kind of complicates things. So giving and receiving information is going to lack the details. We're not going to get all the details. It's going to be kind of confusing. We're not quite sure. Is it this? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? Are we moving forward? Are we not moving forward? Like, there's this little bit of confusion because we don't have all the details. It's not quite clear. The other thing that happens here is our imagination can run wild and create stories. Our mind is so beautiful that it can do that for us. The problem here is that we can take these to the extreme where we are not seeing very clearly. And so it's just going crazy. So I would avoid or be careful or mindful of anything that is going to distort your reality. So whether that's through some types of substance, even VR can be a little bit off-putting right now. So you might want to avoid that if that's something that you do. Just stick to very practical things, stick to clear communication. Don't do those little white lies, my friend. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, moving on to Mars and Venus. So let's talk about Mars first. So we still have some of those connections here that we've seen in the past with that opposition to Pluto, which we are going to continue to have in through January. But here we've got this trine over here to Neptune, right? So we saw the square with Mercury, but now we've got this trine over here with Neptune. Now, trine over to Neptune, it kicks in on the 28th, so right here at the end of the week, and it's going to go all the way through this entire month, through January. And so this is a really nice blending here of energy and imagination, really, with Mars being that drive, that motivation, and Neptune really being that creative energy and imaginative, artistic expression. So there may be some opportunities here for you to step into more of your spiritual practices, step into more of those mystical experiences, more into the gentle flow of movement, instead of going, and hitting that hit workout. Maybe it's more of a yoga workout with a beautiful flow, or a vinyasa, right? Really taking it nice and easy. This is also really great time to do some healing through creative work. So whether that's through artwork or some type of other creative activity, this is also a really beautiful time. So you can really look at this month. I know a lot of people are talking about vision boards. I am 100% yes for vision boards. I will say you got to be careful on how you're creating your vision boards. I've created a process that is part of my reset retreat because, my friend, I see people do them and I'm like, oh. So we'll talk more about that. But there is a way to do a vision board, a really beautiful way to do a vision board that is aligned with who you are and what you want in the new year. And reflection is the beginning. So let's keep going on into Venus. Venus right here. Let me show you her. Where is Venus? There you are. Like, Venus is not where you're supposed to be. Okay, so we talked about this last week with the Venus square Uranus. my words. That will be falling off here on the 2nd. And then we also had that Venus and Chiron that actually fell off here. So if you look here in just a second, we're going to see this one fall off on Thursday, that Venus square Uranus. And then Venus is going to be clear for the rest of the week. We're going to have nice, pure Venus energy in Aquarius, which is really calling for some freedom, right? Really calling for some just independence in our relationship. So really wanting to kind of step back from that like deep connection and bonding and really allow some space. So that, my friend, is our Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of December. I was going to say January, December 30th through January 5th. As I said, be sure to subscribe to this channel because we've got so much coming up in this brand new year, including our next episode all about the forecast for January. Plus, we've got our reset retreat. So let me tell you a little bit about this retreat because, my friend, it is absolutely my favorite thing that I get to do every single year. Now, I loved when I did it in person because we got together in a house and just really take some space and some time. But one of the things that I've learned over the past several years, about 8 years now, that I've been kind of doing this process, is reflection is key. And I've said that and I've made my case for it. I hope you've heard that loud and clear, but reflection is so important to setting intentions, to setting goals, and to really looking at what has transpired. So we're not just reflecting to figure out what the year was about. We're also reflecting to see what habits did we do? What did we not do? Why did we not do that? Those pieces of information are gold when you're looking to set intentions for the new year or goals for the new year, whatever it might be for you, however you want to do that. One of the things that is key is making sure you understand what you've done and be very clear about that. Not just, oh, I kind of think it was this or I kind of think it was that, but really dive into what it was so that we can look at what we're moving into and how we're going to do that. The second part of it is really looking at what was important and what was not important. And so there's an alignment process that I take you through to really pull out what you valued in this last year and what you look to value into the new year. We set those as we align with who we are and who we choose to now be in the new year. We take that information. Once we do that, we then can move into the visioning for 2025. And that is where we then set our vision. We then do our vision board. We really take some time to really look at what it is that we want and have a really beautiful process of taking us through that. And every single time people are like, what are you doing, Danny? Why are we doing this? Can I just stick my images on a board? And I'm like, not yet. I have a very clear process and it works every single time because it really pulls out what you are wanting and desiring in this new year. My friend, I'd love for you to join us. So you can go to thepeaceteacher.com/reset to get signed up for the retreat. It is absolutely free for our first day of the retreat, plus our pre-event reflection workshops starting on January 6th, and then our second one on January 13th. So you actually have the time. I've created the time for you, my friend, the container to actually sit down with that workbook and go through it so that you are really doing that deep reflection. And then on day one is where we're going to do that final reflection, start our alignment, and release 2024. We're going to release the energy of 2024 in a beautiful healing. And then when you upgrade to VIP, you will get day 2 and day 3. And that is where we are going to really do that core value alignment to really get into alignment with who we were and who we want to be in 2025. And then our vision for 2025, where we'll set that vision board through this really beautiful process that I absolutely love and has helped so many people get really clear on what it is that they desire for the new year. Plus, when you sign up, you'll also get our 2025 astrological forecast plus a goal setting workshop. So all together, we're going to look at the forecast for 2025, and then we're going to set our goals. So our vision board is just one thing, right? It's one aspect of the process where we are looking at what the vision is. Now we take that vision and we set some goals. I might also say habits instead of goals, because habits are what are going to help us achieve. So we're going to look at the habits there. And when you upgrade to a VIP, you will also get a one-on-one session with me to activate those goals. So my friend, I've got you covered. We are taking this next month. You do not have to have your goals ready. I will say this, I will scream this from the rooftops. You do not have to have your goals set by January 1st. You can take the entire month, as I will, to set my goals for 2025. My friend, I hope to see you inside the Reset retreat. Make sure to go to thepeaceteacher.com/reset. The link is also down below in the show notes and description box. All right, my friend, this wraps up this video. I hope you have a magical new year, and I look forward to seeing you coming soon next week.